Buonasera. Scanloni Pizza, man.
Oh, are all the delivery guys from Scanloni Pizza this cute?
No, man. Just me.
Oh. So, how did you get past my father's guard?
Oh, it wasn't easy, which is good. He even checked my pizza box for bombs, you know.
Pizza safe, then?
Well, I didn't say that. It's pepperoni sausage deluxe, guaranteed indigestion.
Wish I hadn't eaten already.
Ah, pizza will keep. Guess what else I brought?
Pong! Oh, my God, the one we used to play all the time when we were kids.
Yeah, I found it in the attic. Huh?
Why am I getting the feeling you're assigning yourself as my very own personal bodyguard?
My motives are strictly selfish. Pizza, Pong, and you. Can't think of a better way to spend the evening.
Well, thanks for walking me back.
You're welcome. There's not a lot of people let you talk about your late wife, you know?
Well, it's obvious you love Dominique very much.
Yes, I did. She was a great girl, taught me a lot. I gotta see a patient.
Really? I hope it's nothing serious.
Victor Collins, you know him?
Yeah, he's my patient.
Kidding. Well, I think it's a little after visiting hours. Are you gonna make an exception?
Ah. In your case, I think I will make an exception.
Oh.
Dr. Vince Morgan to OR. Dr. Vince Morgan to OR.
So you guys seem to be more bothered by this than me.
Look, I understand that Ellen was leaning towards making a new start, but to make the decision and then leave poor Charles the same night?
Kevin seems to think that it may have something to do with Rachel Locke.
Or at least she's aware of more than she's telling us. For example, Ellen said to us on more than one occasion that she thought she knew Rachel from somewhere. And now all of a sudden, Ellen vanishes, and Rachel's living in her apartment. No goodbyes, nice to know yous, nothing.
Well, the letter that I got from Ellen claims that she wanted a clean break.
A clean break is one thing. I can understand that. But to move your whole life in a matter of hours, that just doesn't make any sense.
What's your hunch telling us to do, Kev?
I think we should find out everything we can about our new colleague. If we can determine where Ellen may have met Rachel before, then we find out whatever we're trying to find out.
All right, fess up, Scanlon.
What? Dobby, what did I do?
You absconded with the pizza cutter. Wait a minute.
Found it. Woo, saved.
The extra set of keys to the front and patio doors, they're gone.
What? You sure?
They're always right here. Whoever trashed my place must have taken them.
I do not like this, Karen.
Well, no one's getting in again. The guard will make sure of it.
No, I still don't like it.
You know, the really sick thing is, this isn't even about me. It's David Bordisso's way of driving my father crazy, making it look like he could come after anyone he wants at any time.
Well, this may not be about you, but you're still being terrorized.
That's what DV wants. Even though I'm guarded 24 hours a day, he knows I'm going to be wondering what's around the corner.
Let me get you out of here.
No. I need to face my fear. If I run, Bordisso wins.
Karen, all this stuff about standing your ground, sending a message, that was fine before. But your keys are missing now.
I'm not leaving, Joe.
All right. Well, then I'm not either. Guard or no guard, I will not take any chances with you. I know. Tough, independent. You know, you'll be fine by yourself. But I also know you won't get any sleep, and that doesn't make for an alert doctor. So I'm staying. No arguments, case closed. You got it?
Good.
What?
I want you to stay.
Hey, Victor, everybody's really upset when they thought you were dead, especially Lucy.
Go on, it's okay.
I figured if New York City didn't get you, how could Rome?
Rain in Spain. Or is it Rome? The rain in Rome. I'm not home.
Is he gonna be okay?
Yeah, his condition, it causes confusion and hallucinations, but with the right medication and therapy, he's going to get back to his old self.
Victor, I wanted to ask you a couple of questions, but I'm going to wait until you get better, okay?
You know, just because he's not responsive, it doesn't mean that he doesn't feel your support.
Well, that's good, because I like Victor. He's a great guy.
Mary tells me he's got lots of interests.
That's an understatement.
Well, I'm just curious. What interests do you and Victor have in common? Or anything that you can give me, any insights I have to him would certainly be helpful.
Well, Victor helped me when I was in New York. Helped me find Lucy. So, I owe him. Anyway, thanks for letting me see him.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Appreciate it.
Are you sure being alone tonight is such a good idea?
Well, my wife, she died a few years back, so I've got used to being alone. I appreciate it, though.
Well, all right. But if you change your mind, my shift, it's going to be over soon.
Okay, thanks. Catch you later.
I checked high school, medical school jobs, and I couldn't find anything that would link Ellen and Rachel together.
Internet doesn't turn up anything either.
Nothing from the time Ellen was married to Sam?
Can't find a thing.
Well, I'm at a loss.
We'll keep looking.
You know, part of me hopes that your conspiracy theory is right. Because if Rachel chased Ellen out of town, well, I don't have to face the possibility that she left because she didn't see a future for us.
The tension between you and Ellen may be the reason she decided to leave, but I need to be convinced that she made the decision on her own without any help from Rachel Locke.
Well, let me know if you come up with anything.
You'll be the first one I call.
Can you help me up here?
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Ooh. Thanks again. Okay.
Okay, I'm always up for pursuing a mystery with you. But I have to ask, why this one?
Because Ellen's a friend, and I'm worried about her.
Well, that's a good reason.
I sense a but in there somewhere.
But delving into this could postpone our other investigations.
One doesn't preclude the other.
What do you mean?
We both know that Victor is the key to finding out what happened to us in Italy, right?
Yeah, well, hopefully he'll be able to tell us about our missing chunk of time.
Well, I may be reading too much into this, but I sensed a little reluctance on Rachel's part to release Victor to us.
I think she just wanted to keep an eye on him.
I have a hunch.
Uh-oh. We all know about your hunches.
That the more we know about Dr. Rachel Locke, the more light we can shed on some of our other mysteries.
Yes, Pong Scanlon.
Oh, you practiced.
Did not. Finally, revenge for all those years you slaughtered me when we were kids.
Oh, it still bothers you, huh?
Well, maybe a little.
Oh, not easy for you to let things go, is it? Wonder if you'll ever forgive me for not trusting you.
I thought I already had.
I didn't mean that as a criticism. I mean, it was my fault for believing the lies Frank told about you.
But...
Even though I've been working on my trust problems, I'm getting the feeling that you haven't really forgiven me.
Well, I think for two people to have a relationship, they need to trust each other completely.
What about forgiveness? Where does that fit into your workable relationship?
Forgiveness is important, too, of course.
So have you forgiven me? Completely? Or not?
Maybe it's the completely part I need to work on.
Will you work on it? Because if you want me to trust 100%, I should be able to be forgiven 100%.
You know, I may have won at Pong, but I think you just won this round.
Well, you and Baldwin certainly seemed chummy earlier.
Oh, observant and handsome.
Yeah, that's me. What's your interest?
In Scott? Oh, I was just being friendly, lending a sympathetic ear.
Yeah, right.
Look, all to help make one of Julie's main detractors a bit more receptive to her acquittal.
Looked a lot more than client dedication from over here.
Oh. Over here must have had a distorted view.
Ah, of course. Because you're way too smart to get involved with a man who's engaged to someone else.
Especially when there are so many other intriguing possibilities. How about you? How's the wedding?
Well, if Julie is granted the right to marry me tomorrow at the hearing, I'm ready.
Good, because the sooner you two are married, the sooner we can push for a trial.
I have to remember to thank whoever came up with husbands can't be forced to testify against their wives' rule.
And it's really going to be beneficial in Julie's case. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if she's released from Ferncliff, living with you before you know it.
Yeah. Yeah, this is all moving a lot faster than I had hoped.
Is there a problem with that?
No, just call it groom jitters, you know. Probably can't relate.
Now, wait a minute. Are you assuming that all women are so eager and grateful to march down that aisle and commit their lives to a man that they couldn't possibly feel nervous?
I didn't mean to ruffle your liberated feathers.
You didn't.
I promise you, I want to marry Julie just as much as she wants to marry me. But I'm not so sure that we're going to be able to live happily ever after.
Oh, there you go again. Doubting me.
Rachel, there are a lot of people here in Port Charles who are ready to fight against Julie ever being released. And one of them is Scott Baldwin.
You just worry about where you're going to take your beautiful bride on your honeymoon. Let me worry about Scott Baldwin.
Kevin, Lucy and I were really relieved to find out that Victor was alive.
Well, we heard that you went through a little shakeup of your own.
Yeah, thank God Lucy and Christina are all right.
Oh, so Gail told you about the car accident?
She also told us that you suspect DV is behind it.
Yes, I think he tampered with the brakes. And that's why Lucy and the kids are out of town right now and they're safe.
I'm surprised you came back.
Well, I had to because Karen's apartment was ransacked.
You think Bordisso's behind that, too?
Absolutely, but once again, there's no proof.
Vintage DV.
Yeah.
People when they're the most vulnerable.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to hang around and let this happen again.
Why don't you have a seat? Tell us your next move.
Well, when Bordisso had kidnapped Lucy and Victor and I were in New York trying to find her, he was very helpful in the tracking down department.
Victor's a man of many interests and talents.
Well, I think he's a little more in the tracking down department than the average bear, you know what I mean?
He takes his hobby seriously.
I don't think it's a hobby. I think it's a full-time job with him.
Yes, it was. Espionage work. I just found out about it myself. If you knew, why didn't you say something?
Well, I thought maybe, I guess, I don't know, you want to keep it a secret.
Which is why I'm surprised he told you.
Well, he didn't tell me. I kind of figured it out myself, and I wouldn't say anything now, but I need some answers here.
How can we help?
Well, when Victor and I were in New York looking for Lucy, I caught him on the phone one day talking to one of his colleagues about a fellow operative who had sold out in Algeria to the Russians.
A double agent?
Yes, and Victor thinks it was David Bordisso.
Victor involved with David Bordisso.
I stopped by the hospital to talk to Victor about this, but he was incoherent.
Oh, this is just getting weirder and weirder.
I was hoping that you guys could help, but if you don't know about Victor and Bordisso's past, then I guess you don't know anything about this Cobra.
Cobra.
Why do I get the feeling that our worlds just collided?
Because they did.
Comfy?
Sure.
So, regretting keeps upon me?
Not for a second. We had a good time. Yeah. And it helped me realize I have a few things to work on.
Well, you're willing. That means a lot to me.
There is one thing we haven't discussed tonight.
Yeah, I know.
How are we going to handle it if Courtney and I have to have another child to save Neil?
At this point, why invite more problems? You promised me we'd deal with it if it becomes necessary. Right now, it's still a pretty big if.
I just didn't want to pretend like it wasn't there.
If it happens, I am going to have faith in your promise. We'll find a way to handle it.
You're quite a woman, Karen Wexler.
Oh, you're not too shabby yourself, Joe Scanlon.
Pong King Scanlon.
Ah, yes.
Thank you.
Oh, good night, Your Highness.
Good night.
Okay, wait a sec. This is stupid. I mean, you shouldn't have to spend another night all cramped up like that. Especially when you're doing me a favor watching over me.
Ah, I don't mind.
We could share this bed without anything happening. We both agreed that we'd take it slow, and we will.
I don't want you to be uncomfortable, you know?
Well, you're the one that's uncomfortable in that chair. Come on, I promise to be good.
Okay, then. Bed, stretch out. Sounds nice.
Good.
Oh, sorry. Oh, excuse me. Oh, sorry.
Well, good night.
Good night.
Cobra!
What? What, Victor? What do you want to tell me about Cobra?
There is no Cobra. There is no Cobra.
That's right. There is no Cobra.
No Cobra.
No Cobra. You're confused. Probably hallucinating. But don't you worry, okay? You're gonna start feeling better very soon. Because I'm gonna take very good care of you.
Apparently, while we were in Rome, I had a phone conversation with Max Scorpio. But I have no recollection of it. If he hadn't mentioned it to me, I never would have known about it.
There's a whole chunk of time in Italy that Kevin and I can't remember.
What does that have to do with Cobra?
For reasons I still can't explain, I had this drive to go to Jasmine Island. That's where we found Victor, alive, muttering about Cobra.
And because of his condition, we couldn't figure out what Cobra meant. We couldn't even ask Victor what happened to him while he was in Europe.
If Victor said to you that he thought DV was somehow related to Cobra, and then he shows up from the dead muttering about Cobra, then DV could be responsible for what happened to us in Italy.
Morning.
Morning.
You sleep well?
Like a log.
Even though we're crammed up in this little tiny bed.
I think that's the reason why.
I guess after all the nights we spend here like this, our bodies just naturally end up this way, huh? I almost forgot the crick I got in my neck every morning. But I could never forget how beautiful you are when you wake up in the morning. You still are. Gorgeous.
Okay, hold on one sec. I'll be right back.
Oh, man.
Hold on. One second. Oh. Hey.
Rise and shine.
Come on in. Joe stayed the night to make sure I was safe.
Yeah, my man on watch told me that. I guess the more people watching you, the better.
What's up?
I'll tell you what's up. Going after Bordiso. You in?
Could keep me out if you tried. What's your plan?
Well, it's a little complicated, but to make it simple, we're going to just take the fight right to his front door.
Victor, you're going home today. You understand?
Oh, everything's going to be so much better with you at home. I'm cooking your favorite dinner tonight. Oh, you'll be so happy sleeping in your own bed again.
Also, buco and 300-count sheets. Who could want more?
And listen, Victor, when you're feeling better, we can break in the new chess set I bought. Mahogany and marble.
Very classy.
Only the best for a grandmaster.
Victor, you'll heal quicker at home. That's something we're all looking forward to.
I'll prepare the discharge paperwork.
I'll help you, Mary.
Be right back.
Well, with you being in your own home and Mary around you full time and the medication you're on, you'll be back to your old self before you know it.
Old self. Old self.
Yes, Victor, your old self. And then you might remember what happened to us in Italy.
Italy?
Yes, Victor, you were there. Do you remember? We both were, and Eve. Do you remember anything about what happened there?
Why is Victor dressed?
Because we're taking him home.
I didn't approve his release.
No, you didn't. But he is leaving.
Well, I'm sorry, Kevin, but I can't allow that.
Listen, Rachel, I don't mean to be rude, but Victor isn't a prisoner at GH. You can't keep him here against his will.
I didn't realize Victor could speak for himself.
He can't. So his wife and I are speaking for him, and we say he goes home.
Well, I've given it a lot of thought, and I think it would be best for Victor if he stayed here.
And why is that?
Well, when I checked on him earlier, he was more incoherent than yesterday.
He doesn't seem that way now.
That's because I changed his medication after observing his earlier state. Yes, he does seem better now, but I need him to stay at the hospital so that I can monitor the level of the new drug protocol.
Mary, Eve, and I are perfectly capable of doing that while Victor's at home.
You know as well as I do that no one, including myself, can know the possible side effects of these new meds.
I'm confident we can take care of whatever comes up.
Well, until your father's illness is resolved, I really think it would be best if he stayed hospitalized.
Dr. Luck, I appreciate everything you've done for my father. Your work with Victor has been excellent. But I can't help but sense some resistance you have to him going home.
That's because that's exactly what you're getting.
The question is why?
Why are you so eager to have him removed?
Because I believe Victor's needs would be best served in his own home. Call it a professional difference of opinion.
All right. What can I do to persuade you to change your mind?
You can't. I'm as determined about this as you are to get Julie out of Ferncliff.
Julie is in a place that's detrimental to her. Victor can only improve by staying here.
If our mutual goal is to see my father thrive, then what better place to do it than in his own home under the care of 2 doctors and one of the finest nurses on the general hospital staff?
Look, we could go back and forth on this all day, I'm sure. You're going to have to forgive me, but I have an appointment that I can't be late for.
Don't let me keep you. I think we're finished here anyway.
I'd like to check on Victor when I get back.
Of course. Just call us at home.
Okay, that's the last of them.
All we need is Dr. Locke's signature, and Victor is out of here.
I just saw her go toward his room.
Oh, good. Would you ask her to sign that, and then I will just finish filing these forms.
Great.
Okay.
Dr. Carvin, 410 East. Dr. Sherry Carvin, 410.
Greetings and salutations. You springing the professor today?
We think he'll respond better to treatment in a familiar environment.
Well, sometimes being free, out in the world, away from an institution, is the best medicine.
Sometimes. But it's not for everyone.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Come on, Chris. Releasing Julie out into the world is tantamount to accessory to murder.
When are you going to give her a break?
When she's too old to pick up a knife.
Eve, you got her all wrong. Julie's the victim in all this.
Yes, pupils are dilated. Pulse is weak. Someone get this man a dose of reality. Stat!
I don't need it.
What you need is something to help you get over this love spell you're under.
You just don't get it, do you? No matter how many times I say it, I care about Julie. And she feels the same way about me. That's too much for you to handle, then keep it to yourself.
You really expect me to just sit back and accept the fact that you're in love with a murderer?
Hey, she is not a murderer. And since when did Eve Lambert write the definitive rule book on love?
I'm not saying that I did.
Well, good. Because you haven't exactly been misconsistent lately. First you go head over heels for Scott Baldwin, then you turn to Kevin so fast my head's still spinning.
You're not this serious about much, Chris.
Dr. Moran.
Look, I asked you to be the best man at my wedding. Because I literally need you standing up there for me. With me. No one else is.
I am trying to do that.
Then would you just stop giving me such a hard time about this?
Get over it.
Please.
I don't have to go out tomorrow and buy a tux, do I?
Despite your reservations, and everyone else's for that matter, Julie and I are heading down the aisle. In fact, the hearing to find out if she's competent enough to marry me is set for today. Actually, pretty soon.
I'll bet you're hoping the judge will have a more open mind than I do, huh?
I'm going to do everything I can to convince him.
Hey. Truce.
Just put an order in for that tux.
Dr. Curtis, 5517. Dr. Fritz Curtis.
Oh, Dr. Locke, I'm so glad I caught you. I have Victor's release forms, just need your signature.
You think we can talk about it a little more?
You know, I really appreciate all you've done for my husband, but Kevin's a psychiatrist, too, and I trust him on this.
And I do admire Kevin, but I wouldn't ask you to keep Victor here if I didn't think it was in his best interest.
Kevin and Eve are doctors, and I'm a nurse. We can handle this.
I don't doubt that, Mary, but
Well, then why are you fighting us on this?
Mary, hello.
Oh,
How are
Gail,
you?
hi.
Dr. Locke, is there a problem here?
No, I'm just making my professional opinion clear to Mrs. Collins. If you'd still like me to sign those, I will, but I do have reservations.
I do. Thank you.
Mary, I was just so pleased to hear about Victor.
Oh, we all are. Isn't it great? It's amazing.
Amazing.
Here you go. Call me if I can be of any help.
Thank you. I will. Well, I've got to get these all processed and take my sweetheart home. You know how that is.
Oh, I certainly do. I'll call you later.
Wonderful. Thank
Okay.
you. Bye-bye. Thanks again.
Garcia, 3715. Dr. Ralph Alcacer,
I'm
3715.
surprised to see you here.
Oh, well, you know, that clinic that I started in Lockport is really on its feet, so I'm in and out of town overseeing things, and Lee was a little anxious to come home.
How's he doing?
Oh, better, much better. I shouldn't be long before he'll be back in his office.
Oh, that's great.
Is everything okay here? I mean, things seemed a little tense with you and Mary.
Dr. Collins is insisting on taking his father home, and I just don't think it's a good idea.
Oh, well, you know, Kevin, he's a very determined man, but he's also a great psychiatrist and a very concerned son, so he'd never do anything that would hurt Victor.
I couldn't agree more. He certainly would know what's best for Victor. He's much closer to him than I am. And it wouldn't do my patient any good to get into a power struggle with his son.
You're right about that. And the bottom line is Victor, you know, doing what's right for him.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, I have to check on some things in my office, but just let me know if I can help you in any way with Victor's case.
I'm sure everything is going to work out.
Well, I think it's time that Bordiso got a taste of his own medicine.
Where do you start? The guy seems untouchable.
Joe, now, history has taught us one thing. Everyone can be gotten to.
This guy Bordiso thinks he's so smart, he didn't realize if he kept pushing you, you'd eventually push back.
Yeah, Bordiso's been after you for a while, hasn't he?
Well, ever since he sabotaged the Serena line with that child labor trouble, you know.
Yeah, and then he practically kidnapped Lucy in New York when she had amnesia.
Got the brakes on her car, tried to kill her.
What can we do?
It's obvious.
Oh, what?
We're just gonna give him a little taste of himself.
How?
I'm telling you, on the way to the firehouse, I gotta pick up a few things, then we're gonna go to DV's hotel room.
Okay, I just need to stop by my place and change.
Oh, hold on.
I can't believe you kept my stuff.
Well, it seemed right there. Okay, give me 5 minutes and I'll join you.
No, Karen. No, wait.
Wait a minute. TV trashes my apartment. It scares me out of my mind. I have a 24-hour guard because of him. And you think I'm just gonna stand here doing nothing?
Listen, we're going behind enemy lines here. If Bordiso sees you, anything could happen. I don't want to risk it. Joe and I will handle it.
So I stay home. Forget it.
No, listen to me. It could be dangerous.
But if I could at least...
Karen, listen to me, okay? It's not gonna happen, all right? So let's just drop it.
I'll call you later. I'll fill you in on every detail, okay?
That doesn't look like a hotel key, sir. Hi.
You know, you got too much of me in you. Don't you ever listen to anybody.
Yeah, my gut. And it told me you guys needed my help.
Where did you get all this?
Hotel supply closet. The wig is from an old Halloween costume. Do you like it?
No, I don't. This is too risky.
Well, someone has to stand guard.
The point is, it shouldn't be you.
Well, I'm not going home, okay? Bordiso will never recognize me in this.
Oh, listen, Karen, I haven't got time to argue with you, all right? But we're gonna have a little sit-down later on, young lady.
Well, dock my allowance, no TV for a week. I think I'll risk it.
All right, now, just look busy, all right? Because I know that Bordiso is out right now, and I want to be in and out before he hits the lobby.
Be careful, okay? Nice crib.
Yeah, if you like snake pits.
You know how to play in all this stuff?
What's the matter? Didn't you see Mission Impossible here? Now, come on, let's get to work.
Is this even gonna work? And the cops, the media, everyone in Port Charles has branded me a loon. And how am I supposed to prove that I'm of sound mind to marry Chris?
It's not as if you were coerced or manipulated into marrying Chris, Julie. You're doing so of your own free will.
Yeah, and if the judge is a woman, all I have to do is give her a little wink and a smile, and she'll realize there's no way you were being coerced.
Well, of course, how stupid of me. What woman in her right mind wouldn't want to marry you?
My point exactly. I mean, this move looks perfectly rational.
And what if the judge doesn't believe me?
What if you make the judge believe you? You can do that, Julie. These are, after all, your most honest, most sincere feelings. Love for Chris and what you dreamt the two of you could be.
Yeah, and I'll be right there to back you up with a three-hanky speech on the enduring power of absolute devotion.
Between the two of you, I really do believe we can persuade the court to rule in our favor.
Who else is going to be there?
Aside from the three of us, Darren Leopold. He'll be there as your legal guardian.
4 against 1. I like the odds.
Julie, you've got nothing to worry about, okay? I do need to give Darren a call, though. Excuse me.
This will work.
Well, my whole life is riding on it.
Don't you know by now that you can depend on me? I mean, I know how desperate you are to get Christina back. I brought her into this world to be with you. All we have to do is get you out of Ferncliff.
And that's gonna happen, right?
I promise.
Yeah, I don't understand Dr. Locke not wanting to discharge Victor. Bring him home makes all the sense in the world.
Especially when he'll be surrounded by people who know how to take care of him.
What can I say? She had a strong opinion. I was ready to argue it, but she had to race off to an appointment, so end of discussion.
Must have been pretty important for her not to stick around to win her opinion.
Cold.
Oh, here.
Someone close the window.
That appointment that Dr. Locke had to race off to, I know where she went.
Did you see her?
Chris told me that the hearing to determine Julie's competency to marry him is today.
Funny, Rachel didn't mention that.
Yeah, well, wouldn't you keep it under wraps if you were her? The two of you don't exactly agree on things pertaining to Julie.
Or much else, it seems. This could be the first step in getting Julie out of Ferncliff. If she's found competent enough to marry, it could open a door to a whole new chapter of her case. Mary, can you get Victor home on your own?
Why? Is there a problem?
It's just a glitch I have to deal with, but it has nothing to do with Victor.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Well, yeah, we'll be fine.
Eve will be with you, and I'll get there as soon as I can.
Great.
You go. Mary and I can take care of Victor just fine.
All right, Victor. The time has come. It's time to go home. It's time to set things right.
Great.
I'll get it.
Oh, darling, let's go. Let me take this.
Detective Garcia, please.
Hey, you guys, what did you do? Stop and raid the minibar? How much
Going
longer?
as fast as we can here. Transmitter goes into what again, Scott? From the schematic, and we fine-tune the motion sensors so we can turn them on whenever we want.
And I should activate the micro cameras the second we walks into the room, right?
That's right. That's kind of like surgery, huh, Joe?
God forbid anyone who's be on a table with me working like this and trying to remember everything I learned from shop class.
Yeah. Now, where the hell is Victor when you need him? He's the one that knows how to work these gadgets.
Shh, the elevator.
Double time, Joe.
When did they come in? Well, all right, just have... Yeah, send a few over to the hotel. Just a minute, miss. I'd like some towels for my room, please.
Yes, sir.
Miss, don't you have them on your card? I'd like them now.
Your Honor, according to Mr. Leopold, I understand your docket is quite full.
We don't intend to waste your time. The facts in this matter are exceedingly clear.
Then you've made significant progress during your time at Ferncliff, Miss Devlin.
I have, Your Honor. And a lot of that is because of my fiancé.
She's being modest, Your Honor. All the progress Julie's made has been due to her hard work. And Dr. Locke's, of course.
But you've helped me so much, Chris. More than you even realize.
Dr. Locke, you have the floor. I'd like to hear your argument for competency. Given Miss Devlin's limited time in your care, why do you believe she should be allowed to marry this man?
Your Honor, given the time that Julie Devlin has spent...
Excuse the intrusion, Your Honor. I trust you haven't begun the proceedings without us.
Your Honor, in all due respect to Detective Garcia, this is not a criminal proceeding. This is a private hearing to determine if my client is competent to marry.
That's why I'm here, Counselor. I brought someone that can help Judge Anders make that determination. Your Honor, this is Dr. Kevin Collins.
Your Honor?
Dr. Collins, you worked with Miss Devlin before Dr. Locke took over her case.
That's correct. Julie was under my care as recently as 2 months ago.
When he abandoned his patient, and that's when Dr. Locke was kind enough to step in.
I had personal business to attend to abroad. At the time, I regretted having to leave Julie during her treatment, but it was necessary. Your Honor, in the past, Julie has been delusional. At the time I was forced to leave town, I had become concerned that Julie was having new delusions. And that's why I feel it is my duty to testify at this hearing. Your Honor, in my opinion, Julie Devlin is not mentally competent to enter into marriage with anyone, let alone Chris Ramsey. And I'm sure that Detective Garcia would be inclined to agree with me.
Miss, if you can't find any towels...
Yeah, I did. They're right here somewhere. Hold on.
Miss, listen, I'm on a tight schedule here.
Yeah.
Buzz my room when you find them, if you find them.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
We gotta cover the whole room, otherwise this thing isn't gonna work. Bertie's gonna come to that door any second. Go as fast as I can, Joe.
Please, sir, if you tell my supervisor, I'm gonna get in big trouble.
Well, you should get in trouble. This hotel is not what it used to be. Now, if you don't mind, miss, please move out of the way.
Oh, man, this is it. He's coming in right now. What do we do? Where do we go? We don't.
Now what? Bordiso.
Yeah, Bordiso. It's Scott Baldwin. I'm in the lobby. Meet me down here. I want to talk to you about a few things.
I'll be right down. Well, here's a chance for you to really impress your boss. Have my room done by the time I'm back.
Okay, he's gone.
That was me on the phone.
Should have known. Okay, come on, hop in. Let's get out of here while we can.
I'm almost there. All right, listen, Karen, go out there and knock twice when he comes up, all right?
Okay.
Your Honor, these two men have no relevancy for being here.
I think Dr. Collins and Detective Garcia are sufficiently familiar with Miss Devlin's background to be of help in our deliberations.
I agree. But I'd like to go on record stating that they would be talking about a Julie Devlin that no longer exists.
Dr. Collins.
Julie isn't what she was. That's correct. She's not angry and irrational. But she's not the new model that Dr. Locke claimed she is either. Julie can tell you the date. She can tell you who's president. But she could always do that. It's determining what is best for her. That's what she's had trouble figuring out for a very long time now.
You feel, then, that Miss Devlin is not able to give her rational consent to this marriage at this time?
That's correct. As a child, Julie was dominated by her father, then again by Greg Cooper. Now, it's this long history of desperately trying to please abusive men that has left Julie with a very fragile sense of herself.
Are you adding me to that list of abusers, Doctor?
Well, since you're asking, yes, I am.
Why is it you see Dr. Ramsey as a threat to my patient?
Well, for starters, any tune he whistles, Julie will dance to.
It's obvious, Your Honor, that Dr. Collins doesn't like Dr. Ramsey. I don't think it's relevant here.
Well, that's fine. We can focus on you if you like, Mr. Leopold. You wouldn't even be here had it not been that Lee Baldwin, by all accounts, a fine, upstanding attorney, hadn't been booted as Julie's guardian. And that's a prime example of her being manipulated.
Oh, so as far as you're concerned, Julie's just some sort of a brain-dead puppet?
Far from it. Julie, I do believe that you could have a future outside Ferncliff, but only if you allow yourself the time you need to heal. Your Honor, I asked the court to stop this marriage so that the court won't participate in the further victimization of this woman.
You can be very sure we'll consider all the facts. Detective.
If you honestly believe that Julie's judgment is sound, then I suggest you look at recent events.
You're referring to her attempted escape from Ferncliff.
Oh, no attempt, Doctor. She made it out all right. And then went on a little rampage. She broke into the Scanlon house, threatened Courtney Canellos with a knife, and then she holed up in an abandoned amusement park where she assured us that she had given birth to a baby.
Which turned out to be a pillow that she'd kept tucked under her shirt the whole time she was at Ferncliff.
All sounds pretty damning, doesn't it?
Well, if it isn't, Dr. Locke, you need to enlighten the court.
Contrary to Dr. Collins' remarks, I am not a miracle worker. And Julie Devlin is not cured, whatever that means. But I am the first doctor to treat her that fully understands what she's all about.
Then you're telling the court that Dr. Collins is out in left field.
No. Dr. Collins is a good psychiatrist. and a very compassionate man, but in this instance, he is too close to the murders that Julie has been accused of to be completely unbiased.
What do you see that I've missed, Doctor?
Well, Julie was under Greg Cooper's influence. You assume she still is. She must be under somebody's influence to be making a decision that you don't approve of.
That I don't think is in her best interests.
But you want to be the one to make that decision. You want to be one of those controlling men that you just spoke so forcefully against.
So you're saying you don't want to have an influence here? I'm sorry, but I don't think we know each other well enough, personally or professionally, to even speculate on what the other wants.
I think I do. And what you're doing is not fair. As Julie works on rebuilding herself, she is locked up. She is surrounded by people who are criminally insane. And please, just look at her. She's calm. She's clear-headed. This should be a testament to her strength. Could you, Dr. Collins, could you, Detective Garcia, predict how well you would have behaved under those same circumstances? Wouldn't you want to escape? Wouldn't escape be the only rationale for an unjust imprisonment?
I hope you're not suggesting that we let people out of Ferncliff whenever they feel like they've had enough.
No, Your Honor. But the court, with all its wisdom, can view each case and decide if the patient has changed.
In any event, this is not a hearing about Ms. Devlin's release.
It's about something simpler, more innocent. Her love for Chris and his for her. Chris is the only person from Julie's past who has stood by her. He has let her know that there was somebody there when it seemed like her entire world had turned against her. And far from controlling her life, he reinforced her will to survive. Your Honor, their marriage, should you approve, I believe would be the biggest step yet toward Julie Devlin's full recovery.
Dr. Locke, Dr. Collins, you've made compelling arguments for and against Ms. Devlin's competency to marry. Dr. Locke believes that marriage could be therapeutic.
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
And I disagree.
Well, fortunately, it's up to the judge and not you.
I have a problem with that myself. If Ms. Devlin is a project of yours, if you're hoping to change her by marrying her, you shouldn't be marrying, period, whether or not Ms. Devlin is competent.
Your Honor, all I want to do is make Julie happy.
By making her dependent on you?
No, by believing in her. Everyone else has written her off. I see something there.
Yes, her money.
I'd be a liar, not to mention pretty stupid, if I said I wasn't aware of Julie's financial situation. But I don't want to marry her because of her money.
Care to tell us why you do?
Because from the first moment that I saw Julie, we connected. I didn't know who she was, but I could tell she was somebody pretty special. She stood up to Cooper the night that we were all held hostage. She wasn't afraid. And she was right in there helping Audrey with the rest of them. I know a lot's happened between us, between then and now. But one thing has remained unchanged. And that's the connection I feel for her. You know, it's what drove me to help rescue her from Cooper all those months later. It's the reason that I started visiting her at Ferncliff in the first place. It's why I'm here today. We share something. I'm not sure if I can put it in words any better than that, except to say that I care about Julie like I've never cared about anyone.
It's very moving, Dr. Ramsey. What if Julie never gets out of Ferncliff?
So what? I've known women almost as beautiful, and a few who are close to being as funny and smart. But none of them have been able to see right through me the way Julie does, and still accept me. Even if she were to be locked up forever, I'd still want her to be my wife.
What happens if she is released? The community's going to react very strongly. Are you prepared to deal with that?
We can handle anything as long as we're together. That's the reason I want to marry Julie. So I can promise her that I will always love her, the way I do now.
Hey, you guys, DV's coming. Get in the cart now. Now, come on. Come on, come on, come on, get in. Get in. Cover yourselves. There you go, there you go. Got it, got it. Okay, here.
Oh, and you.
Yeah, sir.
Did you manage to finish my room?
Yeah. All done. Yeah.
What luck.
Okay, that was scary. Come on, let's go.
You're great.
Thanks.
All right, I can't wait for Diesel to see the little surprise that we left him.
And these are?
Affidavits from a number of doctors on staff at Ferncliff documenting the remarkable progress that Miss Devlin has made since she's resumed her treatment.
You mean since she was captured after escaping?
Julie, everyone here has stated their opinion, except for you. Would you like to say anything on your own behalf?
I would, if I thought this hearing made any sense at all.
Are you saying you don't know why you're here?
No, I'm not that out of it. Like Dr. Collins said, I can tell you what day it is or who's president. What I don't understand is how other people can know what's in my heart.
Well, if you mean Garcia and me.
Well, you both bring up what I've done in the past. As if I could never change, but I have.
I know that's possible, Julie. I've been aware of your strength since the very beginning. And someday you may be ready to marry.
When I meet a man you approve of?
When you meet the right man.
How does anyone know that they found the right person? Don't you have to trust what's in your heart?
So, you have no doubts about Chris at all?
You kidding? I've woken up more than once thinking I really must be crazy to be doing this.
Same doubts any sane person might have before they get married.
I remember sitting up till dawn the night before my college roommate's wedding, trying to slow her down while she did tequila shots and thought about bagging it all together. And the next day, she was so hungover she could barely get I do out. But she's happy now. She and her husband have a couple of kids, and he loves her. He loves her so much.
And you believe that Chris loves you like that?
I know you think Chris is after my money, Kevin. But there are a lot of wealthy women out there. Why would he pick me out? With all the baggage I'm carrying.
Like the fact that you're a serial killer.
See, Detective, Chris is one of the only people who doesn't think I'm a murderer. I was talking about the baggage of who I am. The flaws, the weaknesses. He sees them. And he jokes about them. But he keeps coming back. He talked about that night at GH when we were all held hostage. And I remember that night, too. How Chris was a smart aleck. And how he stood up to Cooper and the other interns when they wanted to operate on Audrey. He didn't think it was right, so he didn't help. And that's Chris. He stands by what he believes. And it's a quality I'm really grateful for because he stood by me through some really awful times when nobody else has. And he's been the one friend who I could count on. And he kept showing up when I needed him the most through some of the worst and best moments of my life. He's been there. And I made it through all of them because of him. There aren't many heroes left in the world today. Chris is my hero. How could you not want to marry someone like that?
You don't believe, then, that Dr. Ramsey is after your money, as Dr. Collins and Detective Garcia are suggesting?
No, I don't. But you know what? If he wants my money, he can have it. He doesn't have to marry me.
But you'd like to have him too, wouldn't you?
I'd like him to promise that he'll be in my life forever. And I'd like to make that promise to him. even if we're kept apart. And that's all I'm asking, Your Honor. Let me make that promise to Chris. Let me be Mrs. Chris Ramsey.
We've got Bordizzo right where we want him. Can't wait to see the look on his face.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I have you two to thank.
Oh, wait a second. You're including me, Miss Go Home Karen, It's Too Dangerous Wexler?
Oh, boy. Think we'll ever hear the end of that? I don't think so, but she's got a point.
Well, without my brilliant disguise, you guys would still be standing in DV's room holding a pair of pliers and trying to explain yourselves.
Okay, come on. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I'm just glad you're in one piece, both of you.
Well, say that for Bordizzo, huh? Well, let's light the fuse.
You're calling him now?
Yeah.
Bordizzo?
Hey, Bordizzo, how you doing?
Well, you weren't in the lobby now, were you?
Well, I was busy networking.
With some of your pathetic connections, I suppose.
Hey, Bordizzo, why don't you turn your TV on? Well, there you go. Smile there, you're on candid camera. Hey, scratching your chin there. You're looking up, you're looking down. Gotcha.
It's very good, Baldwin. I can't even see your camera.
How does it feel knowing that you have no more privacy?
Well, it won't be for long. I'll just have to find your little toy camera and have it removed.
Yeah, well, you do that, but remember, I got in there once and I can do it again. I own you, Bordizzo, and I'll be watching you every second of the day.
Oh. You all right? Well, I had the feeling things were going so well until Kevin and Garcia arrived.
I think things went just fine.
Is that a joke?
The judge was very moved by what the two of you had to say. And if I didn't know better, I'd say it was the first time you actually shared those feelings. Made it that much more believable.
You did say some nice things about me.
Yeah, well, I guess I was just describing the girl of my dreams and got her confused with you. But hey, what about the things you said?
Oh, that you were my hero?
Yeah. I guess people say just about anything to get what they want, huh?
I guess so.
Sweet, aren't they?
Hmm? Oh, yes. I don't know whether to laugh or cry.
I don't think you'll be laughing when the judge returns and approves their marriage.
You're right. But what if he says no?
He won't.
Awfully sure of yourself, aren't you?
I never lose.
Please be seated. I have reached my decision.